What's up, everybody? This is Dark Macek with Brutally Delicious, coming at you with the review of Savage Blood's brand new album, Wheel of Time. So, sounds like this band released their debut last June and then followed it up this November. That's a really impressive turnaround. I know back in the 70s, Kiss could release 3 albums in 15 months or some shit, but nowadays, albums are usually 2.5 years apart at the minimum. So, 2 years and a year and a half, good job. So, we've got German power metal here. There are rarely 3 words in the English language that make me happier than hearing that. If I'm not in Las Vegas, it's usually Swedish power metal. So even within the realm of power metal, there's obviously a good bit of variety, and this band hits on a style that I think is not very typical. They don't sound anything like Stratovarius, except that the singer is good. They don't sound like Iced Earth or Camelot either, but it's still clearly power metal. I think it's more of the Iced Earth style, except that they don't try to overthrow governments. I kid. The guitars are tuned pretty low. They might be 7 strings, but definitely lower than most power metal. Like, most power metal bands are E or E flat, maybe D, but I think these guys are in B flat or something. The other weird style knit with this band is that they have both riffs and choruses. A lot of times bands have one or the other. Iced Earth had really huge riffs, but the choruses were not like Emerald Sword style sing-alongs. Conversely, a band like Camelot, the verses are usually more accentuated by a guitar or keyboard melody instead of like a traditional guitar riff. Power metal is definitely my favorite genre, but rarely are you air guitaring to the verses. That said, Savage Blood seems to have accomplished both. The singer seems to emulate David DeFace of Virgin Steel. Rarely are German people trying to sound like they're from Long Island. In my experience, it's kind of the reverse. And a last nip before we start talking about songs. Yay for the production, because you can actually hear the bass. That's rare as is and unheard of when they are tuned as low as they are. I don't know how the engineer pulled this off, but you deserve whatever Grammy equivalent there is for production. Song-wise, the opener, Battle Cry. Great opener. At first, I thought the vocals reminded me of someone like John Bush, but then immediately went straight into that power metal David DeFace style. So maybe I'm saying like David DeFace, but huskier, and that's a good thing. If anyone knows a band called Savage Circus from 2009, they have always been compared to Blind Guardian, not only because the drummer is Toman Staunch, but also because the singer sounds just like Hansi Kirsch. Something like that is probably really good for getting noticed in the first place, but awful for longevity. Finding your own sound is crucial. So I have not yet listened to Savage Blood's debut, but at least with this album, I'm thinking they have stumbled upon something. They're creating something. This does not sound like some well-established archetype in the genre. Oftentimes the second album is when things get real. Ride the Lightning was Metallica sounding like Metallica. I do love Kill 'Em All, but it sounds a lot more like Motorhead than like anything they did after. Right after the opener Battle Cry, we get Warriors of the Fortress. Here's a song with a great chorus. I gotta stop saying that for power metal, except, like, why else are you listening if not for great choruses? It has an energizing quality, as in, go out and grab your trusty sword, slay the dragon, bring the princess home, or in my case, go for a walk around Lower Manhattan. Last but not least, album closer and title track, Wheel of Time. Now, I've never read the Robert Jordan books or seen the Amazon series, so I have to presume that this song is about that. From my vantage point, lyrically it reminded me of Time by Winter Sun, in that it's another one of those somber closing tracks about how time waits for no one. Other such examples would be like Embrace of the Endless Ocean by Amon Amarth, or Time the Beginning by Megadeth. It's actually very touching and in a way not typical of power metal. You're not getting up and saving the world with this one. You're looking at your life and asking, what do I want to do with my remaining time? I hate to be a downer, but this is actually very artistic. I don't know if it's the type of song that gets you a ton of fans, but I gotta say, from my point of view, you did a great job here. So I've given myself a bit of a mission. Go back, listen to Savage Blood's debut, and see whether I can pick out the influences. It'll be fun, but truthfully, it doesn't matter that much because at least with this album, they have found a new sound, one that they can use to make a career out of. Great job, guys. Rock on.
Hello out there. Yes, hello out there, everyone. I'm Hal Schwartz.
And I'm Flynn McLean. Together we host None But the Brave, a podcast dedicated to the music and career of Bruce Springsteen.
Bruce and E Street Band are on tour right now for the first time in 6 years, and we're taking a detailed look at what's happening on stage in our bi-weekly episodes.
We've also been recently joined by some very exciting guests, including rock journalist Warren Zanes and Stephen Hayden, Backstreet's Magazine founder Charles Cross, and Barstool's Kirk Minahan.
If you're a diehard Springsteen fan, this is the show for you.
So please subscribe to None But the Brave on your favorite podcasting platform, and we hope to see you further on up the road.
Thank you so much. We'll be seeing you.